A very good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is looking forward to this insightful session that we have. So, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you joining us for today's session on the reclassification of industries by the Central Pollution Control Board. And through this session, we aim to provide the insights of how the reclassification will impact the industries that we have and on our daily working, and to have a simplified understanding of the document that we have all, I'm sure, gone through and had a understanding of, a basic understanding of. So we will be having a deeper dive into it. So before we begin, I would also like to introduce EHS Guru Sustainable Solutions. We, as a company, were founded in 2017 with just a few clients, and now we are expanding over 1,000 clients, including biggest pioneers in the market. Our core services include audits in EHS, ESG, sustainability, and accessibility, due diligence, fire and life safety, regulatory compliance and legal advisory, ergonomics, and workplace safety. So, in an era where sustainability and resource efficiency is something which is a concern and a point of discussion in businesses all around us, we must understand the operations of how are we supposed to function as an organization. So over here, EHS Guru plays a key role in enabling and supporting organizations in integrating such practices into their operations. So that was it for the introduction of the company. Now, diving into the session for today, we are privileged to have with us two speakers who bring valuable insights into this session for today. Our first speaker is Vivek Kumar, currently working as an associate consultant ESG and compliance at EHS Guru Sustainable Solutions Private Limited. Vivek is also an Indian Green Building Council accredited professional and has 2 years of experience in the industrial and consulting domain. His expertise lies in ensuring environmental compliance and helping businesses navigate the evolving regulatory landscape. For our second speaker, we have Dipankar Singh, an associate consultant in ESG and sustainability. While he has been with EHS Guru for the past few months, he brings over 3 years of experience in environmental and sustainability consulting, holding a degree in civil engineering and master's in energy and environment, and also accredited under IGBC with a strong background in sustainability and infrastructure. So, without any further ado, let us begin our session. I now invite Mr. Vivek to take us through the key aspects of the reclassification. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Nimisha, for the introduction. So once again, I would like to welcome you all in this session on new classification of sectors as per the latest notification by CPCB. Along with me, I have my colleague Dipankar, who is supporting me in this session. So let's deep dive ahead into this session. So in this session, we will take a look at the journey of this classification, like how it all started, what was the initial criteria of this classification, industries were classified on what was the key methodology, how this methodology got evolved over the time period. In 2012 and 2016, CPCB introduced a new methodology, the concept of pollution index, which was introduced in 2016, and what is the revised methodology about which we will be talking in this session, and what are the key changes throughout the time period. We will also learn about the new blue category that has been introduced in this methodology. We will learn how to calculate the cumulative pollution index value for industries. And at the end, we will learn what are the key actionables and takeaways for the industries and how this new methodology is going to impact all the industries and other organizations. And at the end, we have a small case study of a cement plant in which we will implement our learnings, what we have learned throughout this session. So without any further ado, let's start. So why any classification is required? Specifically, if we talk about industries and all, Any classification, what is the essence of classification and why do we need it? So if we talk about, let's say Delhi, it is the capital of our country. Delhi is a place where the population is very high and different types of industries have been booming around over the course of time. But as we see day by day, the impact of those industries on the environment is taking a toll on the people living around it. The environment is not what it was supposed about 50 to 60 years ago. Every day we see the air quality getting degraded. So any classification of industries is essential for the protection of environment and to control the pollution that will be arising from those industries. Any classification is also important to categorize any industry as per se what are the types and measures that are required to abate the pollution and how it's going to affect the economic and operational benefits of any industry, how it will provide an ease in doing businesses, and how it also reflect on cost savings of any industry. So this classification basically started in 1989 when the Doon Valley notification was introduced by the MOFCC. So as we all know that Dehradun Valley is a very ecologically sensitive areas. At that time industries were being setting up and there was no methodology for classification of those industries. So at that time what was happening, the industries were being set up without any regularization. There was no method or any categorization. So the Doon Valley notification basically provides us an initial classification start. It gave us the basically three categories, red, orange and green, in which the industries were classified. And later on from 1989 to 2012, this Doon Valley notification got extended to other parts of the country. Later in 2012, CPCB introduces its own list of 244 sectors in which industries were classified into red, orange, green category. Then in 2016, CPCB introduced the concept of pollution index in which a new category was introduced, which was your white category. Then in 2020, some other sectors were included and this list was further extended. And in January 2025, CPCB felt that there is a need to revise that methodology. And in this new methodology, CPCB has further introduced a new category, which is your blue category. So about that, we will learn ahead in this session. So let's start with the Doon Valley notification first. So as I was saying, in 1989, when this Doon Valley notification came, it was basically an introduction about the classification of industries. It classified industries into three categories basically, which was your red category, orange category, and the green category. So what was the basis of the classification at that time? So during that time, the industries were being classified on the size and scale of their respective industry, how much fuel they were consuming, what is the number of employees. So these were the basic criteria of that classification. At that time, it included only 129 sectors, out of which 45 were categorized as red, 35 were categorized as orange, and 39 were categorized as green. So later on, this notification served as a base and it got extended to other parts of our country and the respective state pollution control board tried to follow this methodology. Until 2012, this methodology was being used by almost all the state pollution control boards and PCCs. But in 2012, CPCB issued its own list of 244 sectors with a uniform categorization. And in that list, CPCB tried to classify industries in which 85 were classified in the red category, 73 were orange, and 86 was green. So as I was saying, basically red categories were those categories which have a higher number of influence and they were creating a potential pollution load comparative to other industries on a higher note. For example, if any industry has employee which has a number of more than 500, or that particular industry is consuming coal or fuel of more than 24 ton per day, so that category will be categorized, that industry will be categorized in red category. Similarly, for orange, we have coal fuel limit up to 24 ton per day or employees up to 500. Examples were ceramic industries, soft drink industries, or petroleum storage, etc. On the other hand, green industries were those industries which have a significantly lower number of employees and they were not causing any major pollution. And also there was no effluent high discharge and any non-hazardous industries which were categorized in that time. So they were basically all green. Next slide. So in 2016, CPCB devised a methodology which was termed as pollution index methodology. How this methodology was different from the Doon Valley and till 2012, which methodology was following. Basically, this methodology emphasis on the pollution load and the emissions, whether it is water or air, those industries were generating. So on the basis of those pollution load and emissions, CPCB classified industries by the method of pollution index. So by with the help of this pollution index, what CPCB did, it created a cumulative pollution index value, and on the basis of that value, CPCB tried to categorize industries into red, orange, green. And also in the 2016 classification, CPCB introduced a white category, which is a new category, and it was basically for those industries which were considered practically non-pollutant. In the CPCB 2016 methodology of pollution index, CPCB tried to calculate those value on the basis of pollution load, whether it was from air, solid waste, or hazardous waste. So at that time, CPCB basically categorized the 257 industries into four categories, as I mentioned: red, orange, green, and white. Now, for those industries whose PI value was more than 60, so they were put in the category of red. Those industries whose PI value was between 41 to 59, they were categorized as orange category. And for industries whose value lying between 21 to 40, they were put in green category. And for those industries whose pollution index value was below 20 or near about 20, they were categorized into white category. So on the basis of this categorization, these industries were being granted consent. So for red category, the validity of consent to operate was 5 years. For orange category, it was 10 years. For green category, it was 15 years. And for the white category industries, they were exempted from obtaining any consent. They just have to intimate the State Pollution Control Board or Pollution Control Committee. Now, as of now, in February 12, 2025, CPCB issued the new revised methodology, and also along with that, CPCB has issued a notification stating that up until now, whatever directions or methodologies which were being followed for categorization of industries are withdrawn with immediate effect, and the device methodology which came in January initially, it is still in draft stage. Some minor changes are still going on, but only this methodology will be followed in the coming time. And what is the next big change in this methodology? Is this the introduction of a new category, which is a blue category basically. CPCB has introduced along with red, orange, green, and white. So we will explore about this new blue category further in this session. Now, as of now, red category is being categorized for those industries which have a high pollution potential, such as automobile industries, cement manufacturing industries. For orange, these are considered as those industries which have a medium pollution potential, like fish processing, glass manufacturing. For green, we have lubricants manufacturing industries, flour mills, etc. Or white category, basically, these are your non-renewable energies like solar power plants, or industries involving blending of tea packaging. Now, blue category is one such category which has been introduced, and in this blue category, 9 sectors have been assigned. Only these 9 sectors or industries are classified as blue category, and it involves basically those industries which are non-hazardous, domestic, or household. So, in this revised methodology, sectors have been classified into 4 types. First is your industrial sectors that got involved in any production of goods or products. Second is your essential environmental services, which is the latest change, and it has been further subcategorized into 2 categories: essential environmental services for industrial waste, and another is your essential environmental services for domestic waste. This essential environmental services for domestic waste is your blue category. Next is service infrastructure development sectors like your railways, airport, hospitals, etc. And what other remains has been subcategorized in the other or special category sectors like sand mining projects, hydro mining, etc. So as per this revised methodology, total number of sectors which has been categorized up to now has become 419. Up until it was 257, but in this revised methodology, many more sectors have been added up, and the total number has become 419, out of which 9 is your essential environmental for industrial waste, which is blue category. And about this blue category, we will have a look in the coming slides. So this is the new methodology. Earlier, red category was those industries whose PI value was more than 60, but now this value has been extended up to 80. If your pollution index value is more than 80 or equal to 80, then only you will be categorized as red category. And if your PI value is between 55 to 80, then you will come under orange category. And for green category, the PI value is 25 to 55. And for white, it is now less than 25. Similarly, we will calculate for blue category, but blue category is specifically, like I said, for the household and domestic activities. Now, I would like to request my colleague Dipankar Singh to further give an insight about the revised methodology and the method to calculate the cumulative pollution index value.
So this cumulative pollution index is also very important aspect which Dipankar is going to take, and we need to understand how this calculations to be done. In every industry who has got consent to establish, consent to operate, must also get verified that which category they are now falling in according to this latest notification from Central Pollution Control Board. So let's understand about cumulative pollution index and how to calculate that aspect from Dipankar.
Hi everyone. So as you can see on your screen, the revised methodology, it is all about the PI methodology, which is basically focused also on the PI calculation, where water pollutant score, oxygen demand, and waste pollutant score and air pollutant score are the major issues that we have to consider in our calculation. And now, moving further for the water pollutant score, evaluates the potential for the water pollutant. This is particularly important for the water calculation, that is oxygen demand or BOD or COD load basically. And after that, if we are calculating the air pollutant score, will be a process emission and work zone emissions, which is basically a major category in the industry, that the emission generated from the industry. Okay. And after that, waste pollutant score, which is basically PIH. These components focus on the type of quantity of the hazardous toxic waste. This is basically a critical presence of the various industries in healthcare facilities. Okay, and basically the waste are the type of waste are the different type of quantity of waste. Okay, and then now as you can see on your screen, the formula is about pi is equal to imax plus 100 minus imax I2 plus I3 upon 200. So if we want to calculate the cumulative pollution load or index, so we have to follow the formula and calculate the pollution load of the industry or any commercial index. Okay, so this formula might look like a complex at first, but let us break down in the smaller step. So basically, what is PI? PI stands for the pollution index. This is the final number we calculate representing in the cumulative pollution. Okay. Then next is IMAX. We have IMAX. This is the maximum score among three different pollutant indicators, that is PIW, PIA, and PIH. Think of this as individual score for different type of pollutants. Or pollutant scores, we take the highest of these three scores because it represents the most significant pollution contributor. Okay. Then we have I2 and I3. These represent the remaining pollutant scores. These are the other significant pollutant that, while not the maximum, this still contribute to in the overall pollution level. So now we can calculate the now we can calculate how we can calculate the PI index. Okay. So now it's moving towards the scoring criteria for the water pollutant. Okay. So what are the water pollutants? Water pollutants like basic pollutants that are into the wastewater, comes into the wastewater. Okay. So scoring criteria for water pollutants are you can see on the slide focuses on the scoring criteria for the water pollutant. This score is a key component of the overall cumulative pollution index we discussed earlier. Okay. The PIW is calculated using this formula, as you can see on your screen. PIW is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3. Okay, so let us break down the each components. What is W1, W2, W3, or PIW? Okay, so PIW stands for the wastewater pollution index. It is the final score we calculate to assess the water pollution. And then after W1 is nothing. Basically, it is oxygen demand of wastewater, which is respective to POD or COD. And after that, W2, other pollutants in the wastewater like chemical, heavy, and harmful substances. Okay. And what is the W3? Quantity of wastewater generated in KLD. The load we can, as you know, you all know that we can calculate the water in the KLD. Okay. So these are the three basic requirements that we have to know before the calculate the PIW value. Now, for W3, we have two categories. Basically, one is for effluent, basically that is ETP for ETP only, and the second one is STP for sewage only. So, if we can identify the both the if for ETP, this refers to the treated water from effluent treatment plants which are used by the industries to reduce pollution before discharge. Okay, and for sewage, this refers to the treated sewage from sewage treatment plants which are used to treat domestic wastewater. So by considering these three components, oxygen demand, other pollutants, and quantity of wastewater, the PIW provides a comprehensive assessment of waste pollutant in water. This score helps us to understand the impact of the various activities on our water resources and identify areas where improvements are needed. So as you can see on your screen, the scoring criteria for the water are shown. So basic W1 is, as I told you earlier, that the W1 is scored based on the oxygen demand of wastewater, where the if you want to calculate the PI value or the PIW value, you have to note it down the score for the BOD, COD in range. Okay, and after that, if you want to know the score value of the W2 score based on the pollutant in the wastewater, then you can know the value from this table only. After that, as I told you earlier, the score based on the quantity of wastewater generated for sectors generating industrial waste or for sectors generated domestic wastewater. So we can take the value from this table. Next. So now scoring criteria for the air pollutant, that is PIA. PIA is calculating by this formula. PIA is equal to A1, A2 plus A3. Okay. So this slide focusing on the scoring criteria for the air pollutant PIA. This score is a key component of the overall cumulative pollution index we discussed earlier, especially crucial in the city like they are polluting maximum emissions from the industry or something like that. So this PIA is calculating using this formula. PIA is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3, where PIA stands for the pollution score. It is the final score we calculate to excess air pollution, and A1 is in this formula. A1 is process emission, A2 is fugitive emission or odor nuisance, and then A3 is quantity of the fuel that you are using in your industry. Okay, or maybe this may vary from the fuel type. Okay, this is like PNG, CNG, and LPG. So now this is the scoring criteria for the air pollutants. As you can see on your screen, the maximum score is given in this table is to calculate the formula, the as per the formula. So score A1 is knowing about the score based on the process emission in pointers. If if your pollutants are heavy in metals type, so then we will score. We will get the score for 35 and calculate by this above formula.
So if you notice, what we are trying to do in this calculation is to calculate the water pollution related aspect in the form of a score, and the scoring is coming from the methodology which is given in this Central Pollution Control Board guidelines. So what Dipankar is trying to explain you is to how to calculate pollution index with specific to water pollution first, then air pollution, and then we will be doing the same exercise for waste related aspects. So once we combine all of these aspects, then we can put all of these details in a single formula which was shown earlier in the slides. So that's how we will come to a number which will indicate whether our industry falls in which particular category according to this notification. So let's continue, Dipankar. So air pollution related scoring, how to calculate that. Yeah.
Okay.
And all of these screenshots and what score value is shown in the slide, and this is given by Central Pollution Control Board as per the latest notification. Yeah.
By considering these three components, process emission, fugitive emissions, and fuel usage, the PIA provides a comprehensive assessment of air pollution in every sector, in every industrial area. Okay. This score helps us to understand the impact of various activities on our air quality and identify areas where improvements are needed. Next. So now this is the scoring criteria for waste generation. As we know that the waste is the main agenda for the industries or domestic or whatever. So the slide focusing on the scoring criteria for wastewater generation and PIH. This score is a key component of the overall cumulative pollution index we discussed earlier. Okay, so particularly crucial in the city like Delhi and Delhi NCR type. Okay, the PIH actually has a two different scoring system depending on the type of waste being assessed. Okay, section A deals with the hazardous waste, while section B deals with the biomedical waste. Let us start with the section A. A score for the sectors generating hazardous waste. So let us start with the section A. So as you can see on your screen, the score for the sectors generating hazardous waste. This section applies to industries and sectors that produce hazardous waste only. Okay, the PIH for hazardous waste is calculating using this formula that you can see on your screen. PIH is equal to H1 plus H2. Basically, PIH is in that context. PIH stands for the hazardous waste score. Okay, and where in this formula, H1 is stand for hazardous waste management disposal method. Basically, the method that you are using to dispose the hazardous waste that we have considered that we have to consider in this H1 value, and the H2 is about the quantity of the hazardous waste that is generating from your site. Now, moving towards the point B, which is basically dealing it for the biomedical waste scoring. So scores for the sectors generating biomedical waste. This section applies to hospitals, clinics, and other healthcare facilities that produce biomedical waste only. This PIH for biomedical waste is calculating using this formula. PIH is equal to B. Okay, so where B, what is B? So sectors generating biomedical waste, this score essentially reflects whether a sector generated biomedical waste and the associated risk. Biomedical waste requires specialized handling and disposal due to its potential for infection and communication. Next. So as you can see on your screen, the scoring criteria for the waste generation, as we talked earlier, कि हम इस स्कोर फॉर द सेक्टर जनरेटिंग हैजार्डियस वेस्ट H1 किस तरीके से हमें किस जगह से कौन सी वैल्यू लेनी है, और उसी तरीके से स्कोर H2 के लिए हमें कौन सी वैल्यू किस तरीके से लेनी है. एज अगर मैं बताऊं कि हैजार्डियस वेस्ट विच इज फ्लेमेबल, इग्नाइटेबल, corrosive, oxidizing, toxic, etc., then the score for the same is 30. And if we are gone to H1 and if हम उस लेवल में जाते हैं जहां पर H1 H2 की वैल्यू हैजार्डियस वेस्ट which is reactive capable of yielding another material post disposal etc. and requiring disposal in secured landfill after, so the score criteria will be 25. इसी तरीके से H2 के लिए
like that chemical, like that toxic chemical.
Yes. So hazardous waste, which is basically a chemical or the material post disposal. So these are the key applications for reclassification. This highlights the tangible ways in this in which the new pollution categories are being used. So let us break down the each application. Consent management. So basically, why consent management is required? Industry operation validity. This is a crucial application. This reclassification directly impacts the validity of the industry operating consent. Industries in the red category indicating high potential receive consent of 5 years, orange, and those categories industries get 10 years, and about the green category industries get 15 years. This system incentivized industries to reduce their pollution and move to lower risk categories. Now the second point, the inspection frequency. The frequency of the inspection is also determined by the pollution category that you can see on your screen that for the red category, industries are inspected in every 6 months, and for the orange category industries are requested to inspect it in 2 years, and this ensures the higher risk industries and monitored more closely. So what is now we are talking about the sitting criteria. The reclassification plays a role in determining the feasibility of industry locations. Certain industry may not be allowed to in specific areas based on the pollution category. This helps to protect sensitive environmental zones and there's some like residential areas. Next is pollution control plans. So as you know, the reclassification helps us to prioritize pollution control effects. Sectors with high pollution indicates are the given priority in the development and implementation of the pollution control plans. This ensures that the resources are allocated effectively to address the most pressing environmental challenges. Now, environmental compensation. So, the declassification serves as a basic of the determining fine on violating industries. Okay, so industries that violate environmental regulations face fines that are proportional to the air pollution index. This provides a strong deterrent against non-compliances. Okay, and the next is incentives for cleaner technologies. Industries that reduce their pollution index can benefit
Hello.
incentives to adopt cleaner technologies and practices, leading to a more sustainable environment. So, as we discussed earlier, for essential environmental services for industrial waste management. So now these are the basic criteria for the other categories other than blue. So where a common effluent treatment plant, effluent conveyance project, common hazardous waste treatment, storage and disposal facilities, the HWTSD, and common biomedical waste treatment facilities are determined and described. So, as we all know that the common effluent treatment plant, what are these? So, CTB is a treating is a basically a service focuses on the treating wastewater from multiple industries collectively. It is a shared facility that helps industry meet environmental standards. This have three subcategories. As you can see that 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3, where CETP having ME spray dryer, CTP without having ME spray dryer, and common sewage treatment plant. And now the next one is effluent conveyance project. So basically, what is effluent conveyance project? This service focuses on the transportation of the wastewater from industries to treatment facilities like CTP and other facilities. Efficient conveyance system are crucial for the preventing spills and ensuring proper treatment. This is the second one, and the third one is common hazardous waste treatment, storage and disposal facility, basic CHWEST. So this service deals with the safe handling and disposal of hazardous waste. This is also have three subcategories. That is integrated facility 3.1, secured landfill and incinerator, and 3.2 only secured landfill through, or the 3.3 is only incinerator. So after that, moving to towards the common biomedical waste treatment facility, which is basically in the four category. So CBWTF, this service focuses on the treatment of biomedical waste generated by the hospital and healthcare facilities. We have two subcategories like 4.1 and 4.2, CBWTF and CBWTF, using cleaner gas fuel or without using cleaner gases fuel, that is 4.1. So basically, why this is classification is required. So if कोई इंडस्ट्री इन इस तरीके की किसी बोल सकते हैं कि अपना CDTP या इफ्लुएंट जो अपना हैजार्डियस वेस्ट जनरेट हो रहा है, वो किसी अगर इंडस्ट्री के अंदर लगाया गया है तो वो वेरी करेगा कि वो रेड कैटेगरी, ग्रीन कैटेगरी या अपना ऑरेंज कैटेगरी में लाई करेगा. पर इसके अलावा अगर किसी इंडस्ट्री के अलावा कहीं डोमेस्टिक में इन सर्विसेज को फॉलो किया जाता है तो वो फिर डायरेक्ट एज पर दिस नोटिफिकेशन वो सभी ब्लू कैटेगरी में लाई करते हैं, जैसा कि आप लोगों को अपनी स्क्रीन पर शो हो रहा है. एज इफ म्युनिसिपल सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट फैसिलिटी इज डीलिंग, so the in this second slide, essential environmental services for domestic household activities for blue category. So it is gone through into the blue category only. So as you can see, this slide is titled Essential Environmental Services for Domestic Household Activities for Blue Category. This highlights the focus and focuses on the services specifically designed to address waste generated from the household, means domestically. Okay, so let us break down each category. So for 1.0, municipal solid waste management facility, this category focuses on the management of everyday household waste. We have several subcategories like 4.1, municipal solid waste management facility, which is basically for sanitary landfill, integrated sanitary landfill, and material recycling facility. And 1.2, waste to energy power plants. As we all know that in this age now, waste to energy concept को बहुत बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा है, जिसकी वजह से these plants basically established किए जा रहे हैं. And after third one is 1.3, biomining of legacy waste projects. This refers to the process of reclaiming valuable material from old landfill sites. Okay, and then after 1.4, municipal solid waste biomethanation plant, which is basically a biomethanation. As we all know that these plants converts organic waste into biogas, which can be used as a fuel source not the requirement of the processing at least 5 tons of municipal solid waste per day, yeah, TPD. 1.5 municipal solid waste composting facility for quantity more than or equal to 5 TPD. These facilities convert organic waste into compost, a valuable soil emittment, again, not to the minimum quantity requirement. Okay. And the last one is in this category 1.6 municipal solid waste material recovery facility. Quantity of MSW is greater than or greater than 5 TPD. These facilities sort the separate recyclable material from municipal solid waste. Okay. And now 2.0 construction and demolition waste processing plants. जैसा कि हमें पता है कि आज के टाइम में कंस्ट्रक्शन अपने चरम पे है, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा मैक्सिमाइज हो चुका है और वहां से जनरेट होने वाले C&D वेस्ट तो उसके भी प्रोसेसिंग प्लांट लगाने जरूरी हो गए हैं, जो कि आजकल जो कि डोमेस्टिक में ज्यादा हो चुका है. सो दिस कैटेगरी फोकसेस ऑन द प्रोसेसिंग वेस्ट जनरेटेड फ्रॉम कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड डेमोलिशन एक्टिविटीज. This is important for managing a debris and recovering materials. Next one is 3.0, which is basically for domestic use in for sewage treatment plant only. This category focuses on the treatment of wastewater from the households. There we have two subcategories: 3.1 sewage treatment plant 5 mld and above, and 3.2 is about sewage treatment plant less than 5 mld. So for 3.1 sewage treatment plant 5 mld and above, this covers large sewage treatment plants which have a capacity of 5 million liters per day or more. And for 3.2 sewage treatment plant less than 5 mld, this covers small sewage treatment plant with a capacity less than 5 mld per day. So now these are the key actionables, as you can see on the screen. Revised classification compliances. So basic, what is this? So revised classification compliances is the highlights the focus on the practical steps that need to be taken to ensure adherence to the new regulations. All pending and future consent to establish and consent to operate applications must adhere to the new classification methodology. The new classification methodology, as we have discussed, is designed to provide a more accurate and comprehensive assessment of pollution potential. By adhering to this methodology, industries or project proponent can ensure that their applications are evaluated based on the latest scientific understanding and regulatory requirements. Next. So now key actionables for from this. Now we are going to discuss the applicability of the new classification methodology, consent to establish CTO and consent to operate CTE applications. This is crucial for ensuring that all the industries or projects align with the latest environmental standards. So applicability of the new classification, this is the overreaching principle. It means that the new classification methodology is now the standard for evaluating all the CTE and C2 applications. CTEs granted for the revision will have CTO evaluated based on the updated classification. This is a critical point. Even if a CTE was generated under the old classification system, when the time comes to apply for a CTO, the evaluation will be based on the new classification methodology. This ensures that all the operational projects are assessed against the latest standard. Okay. So the same rule applied for the renewal of CT and C2 applications. This means that when existing CTO or CT approvals comes for the renewal, they will also be evaluated based on the new classification or methodology. This ensures that ongoing projects continues to meet the latest environmental requirement as per this amendment. Next. So now for the this is time for the key actionables. That key red categories units up to 10 years in units classified under the red category which have the highest pollution potential may be generated CTO up to 10 years. Okay, and for orange category up to 15 years, units classified under the orange category with the medium pollution potential may be granted CTO for up to 15 years, and for green category up to 20 years. Blue category sectors additionally 3 years validity may be granted if we are going to calculate some pollution index of the some category, then the if the pollution index lies between the 80 and 100, so the consent to establish or consent to operate will be granted for the 13 years, means 10 plus 3 years is equal to 13 years. The varying validity periods reflect the different levels of environmental risk associated with each pollution category. The allow regulatory authorities to monitor high-risk units more frequently while providing longer-term stability for lower-risk units. Now, this is the time for case study. This case study is for the cement plant, which is located in the Indian region with the increasing environmental regulations. The plant management wants to access to pollution index to understand its environmental impact and comply with the regulatory requirement. This plant is known to have a significant air emissions, particulate matter, SOx, NOx, PM, and for wastewater discharge and solid waste generation, kiln dust and slag, etc. So now we have data for calculation of PI. So if as based on the monitoring estimation, the following pollution scores have been determined. Okay, so first we need to collect data on different pollution parameters in this example. We have 3 key scores. PIA will basically as I told you earlier, that air pollutant score. Okay, so in this slide, as you can see, the PIA for air pollutant score is 80, and PIA for water pollutant score is about 60, and the PIH for solid waste pollutants is at about 70. So just now we can put these values into that formula for PI calculation, which is the formula is the PI is equal to IMX plus 100 minus IMX into I2 plus I3 upon 200. तो प्लीज आप सभी लोग एक प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, हम सब मिलके आप जो भी हमारे पास ये वैल्यू है PIA, PIW और PIH की, इसके थ्रू आप प्लीज कैलकुलेट कीजिए जो पॉल्यूशन लोड है इस इंडस्ट्री का.
So there are 3 data figures which is given related to PIA, PIW, PIH. You put this detail into the formula, and now you understand what is IMAX value, what is I2 and I3, and apply the solution in the formula. Let's pause for a minute and look for answers into this. The main effort is to calculate pollution scoring according to air, according to water. So that is something which can be done on site. You will have to match all the reporting data according to the table given in CPCB. But once that data is available, we can put this detail in this cumulative pollution index formula.
As you can see over the screen, the formula, and where PI is the pollution index that we have to calculate first. Where IMAX is that the maximum score among PIA, PIW and PIH. In our example, the maximum score is about 80. Okay, so just put the 80 value in that IMAX part. Then I2 and I3. These are the 2 other factors, other value excluding IMAX. In our example, they are 60 and 70 PIH. Okay, just put these value in this formula.
So what will be I2 in that case? IMAX will become 80 because that is the highest pollution score. That becomes IMAX. And what will be I2 in that case? That will be 70 and I3 will be 60.
60.
Some answers have already started coming in. Okay, so let's see the answer. Okay, so what is the interpretation of this calculation? in our cumulative pollution index, according to the recent classification, this particular calculation indicates that our industry falls in red category. And we all
Yes, sir.
know the implication of having industry in the red category. And this classification is based on various pollution scoring. So it is like balanced approach. We are considering air pollution, water pollution, and how we are managing our hazardous waste or biomedical waste. So all of those aspects have been covered in the formula using some scientific approach, which is devised by Central Pollution Control Board. And according to that, this interpretation is clearly indicating the red category of industry. The main efforts while you do the classification goes into finding what is the score or PI value for water, wherein different water pollution aspects has to be considered, data has to be matched. And again, there will be efforts when you calculate PI related to air pollution, that is PIA, and then for waste, it is PIH. So basis that we can know how our cumulative pollution index will be. So that is the takeaway. So now this categorization is given by Central Pollution Control Board, but soon our State Pollution Control Board will also start adopting this methodology, and there will be separate notifications from different State Pollution Control Board. But with this session, I think you will get clarity on how to calculate this pollution index, what kind of preparedness you can do for your industry, and how you can make your industry or the facility ready for this new categorization. So it's a kind of relaxation given by the Pollution Control Board, because if you see the interpretation, the score value has increased. So the value has been increased according to these classification with the addition of new category, that is blue category. So
Yes.
yes, there are few question answers. Let's see
Sir,
and test our understanding basis that.
sir,
And we
yeah.
will open this forum for question and answer also after this for 15 minutes after this.
Sir, Nitesh Kumar here.
Yes.
Yeah, I have two questions. One is in 2016, they are given some category of industries directly without any calculation, PA index. In 2025 also, is it some industries or process is without any PA index they have published, sir?
Okay, so the difference between 2016 and 2025 is earlier they were taking the ownership of declaring any industry into this classification. So it was more based on what they have published, and we need to refer that. But in 25, they have put the onus on the industries itself. You use this scientific approach, you use the calculation sheet which has been given by Central Pollution Control Board, and decide the categorization by yourself. So instead of publishing the list of industries into different categories, though they have published 419 industries this time also, but still they have given onus to various industries that you use this methodology and calculate it by yourself or by involving some independent expert for you. That is the major difference now.
Yes, sir. The second question is, if any variation between PI index score and as well as their, already published, some categories already published, and
Okay.
in the PI index, there are variations in the category, which we have to
Mhm.
select, sir.
Okay, so if we are using our approach and calculation, and we know that whatever calculation has been done is precise, because even if industry category is published by the CPCB, but if you still have some variation, then your calculation, which is approved and authenticated by the competent source, then your calculation will be considered even by the State Pollution Control Board. That's why this is more flexibility to industries and various establishment. given this time.
So who is the competent person? Is like local authority, sir, environmental officer?
Okay, so specifically in this CPCB notification, they have not given who is the competent person. So that detailing is not yet given by CPCB, but there are experts available in the market. Like we are also doing this categorization, calculation, and making various industries ready to make the changes according to these classifications. So you will find experts available in the market who are competent in doing these types of calculation and asserting that yes, whatever pollution scoring they are calculating is right according to the scientific methodology. In fact, to make this entire process simplified, if you go into CPCB website, they have given the calculation sheet. There are tools available wherein you can do calculation by yourself, so that there is no confusion or no conflict for doing these calculations.
But during calculation, backup data is required.
Yes, yes. So that
Like-
that should be also very authentic. There should not be any manipulation in preparing the data. So that's why the involvement of independent expert are required, who can verify that whatever figures you are putting in the tool is also having the backup data available with you, because you will be exposing yourself to different authorities and they can verify it at any time if there are any issues or any complaints. Even pollution control board authorities are also open to verify all the backups related to that. So we need to be doubly sure before giving anything to the authorities in with respect to that. And now with this new publication, you will have chance to re-verify whether your categorization has been changed or it is updated. Accordingly, you can prepare your industry for this new changes, which will be effective very soon after the notification from each pollution control board, which has to be published by the respective pollution control board very soon.
Okay, sir. One more question, sir. See, already we obtained the CTO. Whether can we review and then can we reapply?
So at the time of renewal, yes, you can do this reclassification verification. And in fact, if you want, if you think that your category has been changed, so you can resubmit the application and submit the request to State Pollution Control Board. But that can only be done once there are notification from your State Pollution Control Board. It is still not become effective from different states. This is CPCB notification, but respective states will give notification very soon in upcoming months or days.
Okay, this will be affected from January 2025, sir, for central, for the central state.
CPCB has given the guidance document.
Guidance document. Okay,
And
sir.
now they are enforcing to different state pollution control board that you make this effective in your states. Because for states and CTO matters, state pollution control boards are responsible for that. And these notification you will see very soon in coming months.
Yes. Sir, one more question, sir. Last question. Sir, if it is a common sewage treatment plant, like some industrial, association having a setup of common STP, we are discharging the domestic effluent to that, common treatment plant. How to consider our capacity, sir?
Okay, so in this new categorization, you tell me the answer, which category it will be now. If it is common effluent treatment plant, which category it will fall in?
Okay, I have not gone through.
No,
okay.
no. So just for the everyone's understanding, since this is related to pollution control management, it will fall in the new category, which is blue category.
Okay.
Okay. And like now your question was more about how to define your capacity in this common
Yes,
effluent.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
So there has to be water meter installed in your facility. What amount of wastewater you are contributing to common effluent treatment facility, that will be your quantification of wastewater. So there has to be a water meter installed to calculate the quantity of wastewater in your facility.
Okay. But
How much you are contributing to common effluent treatment plant.
Yeah, that BOD, COD and other constituency only we have to calculate for the effluent, not for the sewage.
No, it includes both. If you see the scoring of water-related pollution score, it covers both, uh, even the sewage water as well as effluent water. It covers both.
Yes. But in our case, since it's a common treatment plant, that is a concern, sir. While discharging, we are discharging the raw sewage, but we do not know the value.
Then you
The
need to
voice-
go to CETP, what technology they are following for the treatment and what kind of treated wastewater they are having. So based on that assessment, you will have to know the scoring related to that. And that's the exercise wherein you need to involve the experts. Otherwise, putting the data into this cumulative pollution index is very simple, but you need to verify what score you are getting in PI related to water pollution or PI related to air pollution. Different components will be part of that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
So, yeah.
So I'll request everyone if you can come online on camera so that we all can see you. So Dipankar, I think we can stop the slides and let's have question answers. We do the interactive sessions. You can stop sharing the slides. So instead of this slide question answer, let's take the live Q&A.
I'm Chinmay Shah. I have some question.
Yes.
So, that common industrial waste category are a part of blue category, or only domestic waste essential services are part of the blue category?
Anything related to waste, like pollution management related facilities, so all of that will become part of blue category. It can be TSDF, that is waste management related facilities, anything related to ETP, STP, all of that will become part of blue category. So Vivek, you can mention the detail if you want to share anything on the blue categorization. Vivek.
Yes,
Good
sir.
afternoon, Manish ji. Mahan
Good
Chaurasia here.
afternoon. Good afternoon, Mahendra ji. कैसे हैं आप?
Because
Fine,
when
sir.
you are
Fine, ekdam
showing
fine.
when you are showing the slide, it was mentioned like that one only for domestic related waste is part of the blue category, not industrial waste. But is it not like that one?
Yes, sir. Blue category is specifically for domestic activities.
So what about the TSDF? It's not for domestic activities. It is for the industrial waste. Then it is part of blue activity, blue or which category?
No, sir. It will be categorized as per the rest of the categories, red, orange, and green.
Okay, so only domestic waste related activities are part of the blue category, right?
Yes, sir. The specific 9 sectors which have been introduced in the revised guidelines, those sectors only.
Yes. Okay. And it is mentioned in the slide that blue category that consent will be extended for 3 years.
It would be done only after the visit by the CPCB and the respective state pollution control boards. So they will verify first, and based on their observation and inspection, they will decide whether it can get extended or not.
But otherwise, in normal consideration, how much durations will get the permission, will get the CTE or CTO?
It will be accordingly, like if
ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದ್ 2-3 ಕ್ವೇರಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಓಕೆನಾ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಓಕೆನಾ
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. What were you saying?
For normal circumstances, what is the minimum durations for blue category for CTE or CTO?
Sir, see, if it is a, let's say, example of hotel industry. So there is a STP there. So the calculation will be done on the basis of the pollutant in score like PIW, PIH, and PIA values. So those pollutant index value will be taken, and then your cumulative pollution index value will be calculated. So after that, what the value will be, let's say it is 93. So it is your red category. But since it is an STP, so it will come under blue category. So for red category validity is 5 years, but since it is also a part of blue category, it will be extended to 3 years. So total validity will be 5 plus 2 additional. So total validity will be of 7 years.
Okay. Right.
Similarly,
And-
for orange, it will be 10 plus 2, and for green, it will be 15 plus 2.
Okay. And whenever we are submitting the calculations, then how backup data is required? Means it is a 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, how they will consider it? Because notification is just introduced right now. But suppose,
Mhm.
for example, my consent is right now due. So, for example, in April 2025, if I am submitting the data with all these PI index calculations, so then what is the calculations for recent last 1 year, or how much they are considering Pollution Control Board?
Sir, I think strict guidelines definitely they will be issued by the respective state pollution control board, because initially the notification is in draft stage. So
Okay.
more clarity will be provided by the respective state pollution control boards, like whether they will take 1 year data or 2 year data.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Thank you.
So this is one clarification from my side. So that CETP will not fall in blue category. It is only for the essential environment services for management of environmental pollution arising from domestic and household activities. So mainly covering the municipal corporation who are responsible for domestic and household activities related management of various environmental services. So
Okay.
that
Yeah.
is a
Thanks.
correction. Yeah. So similar to the PI calculation, so it will become applicable according to those categories, not for all.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
And normally the consent duration varies with these categories, whether you fall in green, orange, red. So red is having the lowest validity and green is given the highest validity of consent, but it depends on you for how much duration you are applying. If it is for 15 years, it is not necessary at your end that you need to apply consent for 15 years. You can even go for 5 years, because it is annual fees that has to be paid with this consent to operate a renewal to pollution control board. That is the maximum limit given by the authorities, but you can choose the less duration also.
Hello, sir. Good evening. I'm Gopinath from Mitsubishi Elevators. We are factory at Kolar district near Bangalore.
Yeah,
I'd
I
like to
agree.
check about score, scoring criteria for air polluting sectors. Related to score A2, score based on fugitive emissions and odor nuisances. In this, I feel that in my industry, it is not applicable to this. How to consider this? This is how to confirm that this is not applicable to me, and then can I consider 0 for this number?
Okay, so to answer this particular question, we need to go into details of various other factors,
Okay.
whether fugitive emission will be applicable or not, what kind of operations you have, what kind of emissions are there.
Related
So
to emissions means I have only 2 DGs, and then one paint spray painting both with the water content and the stack we have paint water air collection from paint water cutting.
okay,
Other
okay,
than that, oven, electric oven I have. Other than that, there is no air polluting criteria I don't have.
okay, okay.
And
So
DG also
in
for emergency power. During power cut only I am using a DG as a
So,
backup.
so in case of paint spray related process, there are chances of having fugitive emissions. We need to
But
see other factors, and if you would have done fugitive emission monitoring, what kind of concentration limits are coming up. So based on all of that
yeah,
figures, we can decide.
paint also we are mixing a 20-liter can and into thinner like a 80 into 20, and then we are mixing, and I think every day we are around using a 40 to 50 liters of paint in every day.
Okay, okay,
That we are
okay.
using as a paint shop, having a water collection, water curtain it is to collect the excess paint it is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then air, so to remove the paint mist and smell anything it is there, air blower we are using, that stack only we are using as a paint.
Okay, okay. So
Other
you
than
must
that,
have got fugitive emission monitoring of your workplace. So if you have those reports, based on that, we can
and
tell.
ambient air quality monitoring, indoor air quality monitoring I have. Other than that, fugitive emission air quality, I am not aware about that.
Okay, okay. So there are specialized monitoring, and which is part of industrial hygiene monitoring also.
Okay.
If you have the testing of those fugitive emissions report, it is more kind of workplace monitoring as part of industrial hygiene study. So if you go for that, based on those testing reports, you can decide whether it will become directly applicable for you and what kind of score will become applicable in your case.
Okay. If it is the things, any standard or any agency available in Bangalore or any standard it is there, any test name it is there, if you are telling that, I will try to take the things and then I will take a call.
Okay, so to get the testing, there are NABL accredited labs if you want to get this fugitive emission testing. So whatever, whichever lab do the ambient air quality testing, so they also should have the facility of testing
Okay.
these fugitive emissions.
I
So you
have,
can
yeah.
check for any NABL accredited lab, but if you want support in analyzing those reports and deciding what kind of industrial hygiene aspects are related to you, then we can also support you. But we don't have the lab facility there in Bangalore.
No issue. I have my existing
Mhm.
vendors who are doing the work zone monitoring. From that I will try to get
Yeah,
help for.
first check from them. They will do the fugitive emission monitoring also. It is kind of
Okay.
a workplace monitoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
My CFO validity is valid is till 2031. If in case, although my industry is not does not fall under red category, my present category also orange only. Due
Okay.
to this new calculation, if suppose as a imagination, if it is getting changed to red, means whether it will affect my CFO or not, as on date. Means normally CFO for orange entities, it is provided for 10 years. This I have got,
Mhm.
last I have got in 2021 and now it is valid till 2031.
Okay.
So means if in this, due to this notification, Karnataka KSPCB based on the calculation for my industry, it is say it is coming for more than 90 or like that, it is coming, means it is a red category, means what is the effect?
Okay, so as on date, since there are no notification from State Pollution Control Board, you are safe. But once that notification comes, there are least chances that your category will shift to upper side because there
Okay.
has been relaxation in the categories. So it
Okay.
can be a rare situation without changing the process in your facility that you are shifting from orange to red. There are no chances to that.
No. Already CFO it is for orange. Say, for example, I am asking that if it is due to this calculation, my industry is calculation is coming as a red. Now KSPCB is calculation also coming a red. My another CFO validity is valid for another 5 years. What would tell me the ideal scenario, future
Then
scenario?
you need to reapply in the red category. If according to your calculation it is coming red and according to State Pollution Control Board it is coming red, then you need to get the amendment immediately once that notification comes.
Okay. Thank you.
And since red category has high level of monitoring,
I understand.
frequency is also modified. So that's why those monitoring will also needs to be increased from your side in that case, if that happens.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hope I have joined late due to other commitments in that. Hope I will get the recording of this. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thank you. I request all the participants to come online on camera and put your questions, whatever questions you have related to categorization, consent to operate, consent to establish, or CFO, CFE, which is the terminology similar to CTE and CTO for other states.
Yeah, just a question. Our consent is expiring on 31st of March this month. It is in red category, and we are trying to apply to convert it into orange category as we have stopped our aroma chemicals production. So now
Okay.
it will happen as per this new classification, or there will be some other criteria for that?
Okay, which state you are calling,
In
talking?
Maharashtra.
Maharashtra, okay. So see, as Vivek was mentioning, this CPCB notification is still in a draft stage, and this new notification will become applicable once Maharashtra State Pollution Control Board gives separate notification. So you will have to follow by the same process
Okay.
as of now. But yes, but in next few months or days, you can expect some update from the respective pollution control board. So this session is more of a proactive session so that industries and companies can be ready to face such updates and changes. And according, if there are some situation when renewals are near, we can make our industry ready to apply under new categories. So it's a kind of relaxation, and you can do the recalculations and get it modified in the renewal stage. That is the ideal timeline to get it done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, unable to. Sorry, this question is not related to categorization, but if I'm going for a diesel genset to dual fuel kit like a PNG plus diesel, whether it is how to communicate that either a CFO modification, anything required or expansion, anything required or not, that I want to get a clarification.
Okay. So you don't need to do any separate notification or update to Pollution Control Board. There is always already a mandate from Pollution Control Board to do the retrofittation of DG sets.
Okay.
These notifications are available, and it is a mandate in all the states, because that is
Okay.
also related to CPCB mandate and NGT update on retrofittation of DG sets. These must be dual source or
Yeah, it is
hybrid
there,
source.
but as per
Right.
Pollution Control Code, as per Environmental Act, as per Air Act 1970, that respective act, it is there any modification
86.
if you are doing anything in our air polluting equipment, it has to be notified to SPCB like that. It was there. One class it was there. That's why in that class I am referring that
So
it is
this
necessary or not.
modification you are doing as a response to the notification that has already come from Pollution Control Board. It means
Okay.
you are complying to those new update which is coming from CPCB to SPCB and SPCB to you.
Okay.
That's why.
There is no letter also, a formal letter also not required. We can go ahead like that.
So at the time of application or renewal, you can update to Pollution Control Board that now we have the dual source available in our DG sets. So that can be done in that
Thank you.
case.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Dipankar and Vivek. It was a great session. We all understood the concept of classification, formula for cumulative pollution index, and what is the meaning of PIA, PIW, and PIH, and how to do these calculations. So it was all very clear with the examples, and everything is in line with that latest update from CPCB.
It's a really good session, and I think we hope that such type of sessions will be helpful to all our industry members. Thank you.
Thank you, Chinmayji. Thank you. Okay, so we can conclude the session then. Thank you so much.